You know, in the army, they had this funny saying that I heard for the first time: keep it simple, stupid. Now, follow me on this journey of keeping it simple, understanding price action, understanding how impulse and correction works, and why it drives everything in every single market on every single time frame. Look, in this video, I'm day trading SPY. Today's the Thursday, 4/16, and I'm making money. I've been making money the past 3 days, and you can too. I'm going to break down some key concepts, some lessons learned, right, as a trader. I'm kind of like a mental journal. Follow me on this mental journal that I go through. And I'm just going to break down every candlestick on the 1 minute time frame. I'm going to zoom out. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to show exactly where I got in, why I got in, and exactly where I got out and why I got out. So you can make money too. Let's go. All right, cool. So this is a replay of the morning session of SPY. Thursday, April 16th. And this is where I woke up to. This is what I was looking at. I was like, okay, looks like we got somewhat of a slanted head and shoulders. And we got bearish momentum. Let's look for some sells. That's basically how I started the day. I was like, okay, sales kind of confirmed, right? Especially if it breaks the neckline, right? We see pre-market shoulder with a break, kind of confirming this as a reversal structure, right? So just to take a quick step back, if you don't understand structure trading, impulse correction, this might be a harder concept, but this is the fundamental way the market moves. Every market, from commodities to futures to currency pairs to crypto to stocks. You have an impulsive phase, you have corrective phases, and you have impulsive phases. Markets either in one or two phases on any time frame, right? So on these 2 minute, those are impulse and corrective phases on the 2 minute, and it looks different when you go to the daily, right? If I zoom out on the daily, we can see some impulsive phases, and we can see corrective phases, right? Corrective phases, impulsive phase. So market's in an impulsive phase right now on a daily time frame. It's shooting up. Price is shooting up. And one of the early mistakes I made was not looking and not considering. And I probably just need to go ahead and I see another trader. What she does is she just has like a text box of the day, like daily bias is a bullish bullish impulse, right? Okay, cool. So I want to make sure I'm actually on the right bar. Go to the 1 minute. Market's open. It's 8:53. Let's play out exactly how I made I still have some settled funds on SPY. Got 178 out the market. Oh man, let me slide this around. Got 178 out the market. This was about 2 triggers right here. Basically made 2 trades that were bad. 1 trade that made me 275. Okay. So let me break down exactly how that went down. Boom. It's a little too fast. Let's go 1. So let's do maybe half. So when I saw this structure, I knew it was a bearish push down, knew it was a breakout of this structure, and that this was a confirmed reversal. So price, I wanted to take price to the downside. That was my bias. I was looking at this as a continuation structure. And if you don't know what a continuation structure basically is, if the last impulsive move was down, I'm betting that this structure, that structure will also lead to a move to the downside. Continuation from the direction of the last impulse. So we got price moving. I'm thinking like, okay, it's kind of ascending here. Maybe it's a liquidity grab for price to move back down. So basically saying liquidity grab, basically saying price went above the previous highs. So anybody that was betting on this continuing to go lower here from these highs, they're losing money. They're giving money to the market, which gives the market steam to maybe make the longer move down. So that's what I was thinking at that point. Just move forward a bit. I'm like, okay, let me be patient because I still believe in the sells and I want to see it develop. So boom, price breaks that bottom trend line. I'm like, okay, bet. That's probably a good sign for me to get in. It looks like this correction is complete. Not only that, I see a bit of a head and shoulders here, right? And then price push down and breaks the bottom of the trend line. I get in. I enter the market at this point. I see a nice push down. I say, cool. I'm betting that this just needs to break about this level. If it can break this level, we'll see some pretty good sales because there's nothing that is stopping it from going to at least about 697, which would be like a $2 move. It'd be great for zero day expiration contract. Basically, I'm trading contracts that are going to expire at the end of the day. So boom, let's keep going. Does price give me that? No. Cut to the chase. Price does not give me that. And this candlestick right here was the signal that it wasn't gonna push down. That was a signal, right? It doesn't mean I just immediately exit the trade. I need to see an actual confirmed reversal. Because in my head, I was hoping for, I was like, okay, I understand that this hasn't pushed down yet, and it might not. But I was still looking at it as another continuation correction. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is a double top right here. And obviously we have the channel defined. Let's see what price does, right? We can't just throw away the trade just yet. And boom, out of the trade, at a loss. This is confirmed reversal, right? Off this break. Once it breaks this trend line, right, we got a confirmed break. Not only that, the bias for sales kind of gets mucky. The bias for sales gets mucky here. Now, in the moment, do I realize that? Not entirely. I still personally wanted to see sales happen. And maybe I need to kind of get out of my own way because I think I get a little salty. When I don't, when my original bias doesn't work out. And I look to try to get more sales. So you guys kind of see what ends up happening there. What I end up doing is I understand that, okay, this is how I need to look at the chart. And as a structured trader, how you draw your trend lines is everything, right? Because I had these two like lines up here like this, this structure and then this structure, looking for this move down. As soon as this invalidates this being a continuation structure, I understand that I need to redraw what I'm looking at. And the most obvious thing was to connect the entire thing, right? Because this is obviously still in correction, right? This is still separate from this move. This correction is still separate from this impulse. So I connect the lows. That was really good of me. I connected the lows in real time. However, at this point, is there two swing highs to connect this and make it an actual structure to be able to make analysis off of? The answer is pause. Answer for yourself. What do you think? Is this a swing high? Yes. Is this a swing high? No. Price is still moving to the upside. It hasn't made like a head and shoulders. It hasn't given us a double top and a push down. It hasn't even given us impulse, right? It hasn't given us a clear top. It's moving. And what I was doing was, and I was catching myself, but I was trying to be like, oh, this might be the high. It could still waver here some point and move down to the downside. Mistake. Let's play. We kind of know what happens. I was looking at that candlestick for sells. I end up getting on this candlestick for sells. So I end up entering more sells right there. Now, price moves against me. Not only does price move against me, I double down. I see a bit of a double header right there. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to double in now because price is coming back. I'm playing it wrong. I'm not being patient. I'm not letting, and these are probably my two worst mistakes today. And this is why I lost $90. Okay, yes, we finally got that high. So now we got one high, two high, and some swing lows. We know this is a channel. But it hasn't this high hasn't finished confirming that it wants to move to the downside. So like, I'm banking on this being reversal, high risk, high reward. I tried to double in. That's not a part of my trading plan. I don't make a bad entry. It goes against me. Yeah, it gives me the double top I was looking for initially, which I was late on. So now I'm down money. I don't now double down. Hold on. Okay. So yeah, not part of my plan to make a bad entry or a late entry. Excuse me, an early entry. Because yeah, maybe this does become a reversal, right? It's not out of the ordinary that you have a structure like this, impulse down. You have let's say a neutral channel. You get two highs. The second high is a double top, triple top, whatever, and price pushes down to continue the previous impulse, right? Not out of the ordinary that you would get something like that. But it's bad trade management. It's bad trading to get in early. So this was obviously too early, right? There was no defined high. When the high does define itself, that doesn't mean you just enter again, right? Maybe I should be waiting for it to confirm itself. Maybe I should be waiting for a strong bearish push down. And then maybe a continuation structure within that. Like, it's nice to see confirmation. And you only get confirmation after the fact. So let me show you what that looks like as far as making a successful trade with confirmation after the fact. So boom, I'm in this trade, and that's the next candlestick. And I was happy at first. It was a nice red deep candlestick, but it pushed against me. And I know I'm in for trouble. I'm like, I need to get out. I need to get out at minimum loss, right? I already lost maybe like $30 or $50. And this was good trade management. Once I see this bullish pin bar, I'm like, I probably need to get out of this trade. Even if this does end up being a top, I need to be a bit patient because it could easily not be a top. And I could be in for a rude awakening. It'd be down $150 in 2 seconds. So I get out right before this green candlestick, and boom, boom, boom. And I'm like, I need to probably be in for calls now. I switch my bias. At this point, I start to switch my bias. Like, this is probably calls. If it's going to make these bottoms here, like this, I understand that I've been making money on the calls, right, the past few days. That's how I've been making my money. Calls for the breakout. Calls for a breakout. We're back into calls for breakout, especially after they just collected all this money from sellers. If you were sellers here, sellers here, sellers here, oh baby. So I'm like, it could go. And on my stupid phone, I'm trying to trade, right? I don't get in there. I don't get in there. I don't get in there, which I really wanted to, especially when I seen this candle. This was the candle was like, bro, I need to be in. Bro, it takes me like 3 minutes to configure my phone. It's like messing up, doing whatever the fuck. Like, I think I finally get in around this point for calls, maybe even a bit higher. And we kind of get to see this kind of just rock out. So I end up getting, so it makes a new all-time high. I end up getting in probably around this point, like that area, and getting out very close to the highs. Once this weakness shows, I'm actually in this entire candle. So I'm in that entire candle. I'm probably out around this point. And this momentum pushes up a lot. It makes me that 275. So yeah, these are the mistake trades, the winning trades, and then the total on the day. And that's what it looks like. That's how I broke down today's morning. I hope that explanation helps. I hope that explains a little bit about where I'm at as a trader along this professional journey. And yeah, let's keep killing it. I'm on a 3-day win streak, averaging right around $145, $150 so far. So I'm gonna try to get to $200 a day. That's the goal. Average $200 a day for an entire month of trading. All right, I'm gone. Bro, you stayed the whole video. I appreciate it. Much love. Subscribe. Join the next live stream where I talk about all this type of stuff live, in action, in the thick of battle of live trading. So you can make money too. You can just follow what I do, or you could ask questions and we could, you know what I'm saying, learn together. Later.